sendela link ya enana live no.
And good morning,
yes, sendela link ya no
and good morning it is to you guys. So I had a blood moment. There's a blood moment. When you guys, I was also having
a not ready,
moment.
Not ready.
You know, I was actually lost. Guys, before I come to you guys, I was going to tell you about a horrible day I had today.
And you know, when I raise my hand,
my mic on, I can't hear myself. Mr. Technical Producer, my mics are on. Yes. Okay, no, he says.
If people could hear our technical producer right now, the sound
he's so excited. Exactly. he's excited because we are on. You know, that's the only time you get to see him.
We are his favorites. We are his favorites, and he knows that as well. I mean, what's not to love?
Yeah. Please tell us about your day. I had a very horrible morning, guys. I was almost Yo, guys,
what happened?
So scared. Like, this taxi driver was actually beating, but he's rushing. So there's cars that are coming this way on the right and on the left, and then he's going straight. Guys, if those cars are saying this is big, I'd be in hospital or I'd be emotional. You understand? Because I was sitting in the front seat. Yeah, like I've got this thing. I'm gonna take so Alex guys, like honestly speaking. So when I'm you can see, you literally see everything that's happening in front of you. Like from you inside the taxi, but you can see
see through.
Yeah, see through. We understand. So I thought no today. Put the quantum lucky. So now, luckily, I saw God today, and I was actually talking to a colleague of mine earlier on. I said that, with God always shows ukona in good and in bad times.
That's true.
And He actually flashed right through my eyes today. I mean, the door where I was sitting, it literally opened.
So what did you do? Oh my God.
And now this taxi driver is trying to run away. And then guys, the only way, I was screaming, and the only way I was actually balancing. And by the grace of God, it was so chaotic. Everyone was traumatic in the car.
I'm in trauma, in shock right now. Like, I'm imagining how everything went by. Even for you, I'm trying to put myself in your shoe, and oh my goodness.
Yo, guys, and it actually made me realize. Yesterday, I was actually telling someone who was also actually almost in a car accident, and I was telling him that your problem is that you don't pray before you sleep, and you don't pray before you walk out, because we need to pray before my entry.
That is true. Even if you are in a cab, still pray. If you forgot to pray, pray in that taxi. Lord, please, your protection is what I need for the day.
So I actually saw God today, Nick. So I think people need to know that God is always there in good and in bad times. And remember, I was hungry for God, Nick. Maybe it was a sign that I must go back to church. So I've decided to Sunday, yes, on doing, because I feel that God actually did wonders for me today.
He showed himself.
We understand. He showed himself, and I'm here now, broadcasting and talking to you guys. There's actually other people that didn't even make it home or didn't even make it to work. So that's why we always have to be grateful and thankful for that opportunity we're given in life. Just for pefumula, But anyway, that was my morning. So let's actually give you guys a great welcome. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Listening and live streaming with us, and welcome to Ecom Connect. And as usual, it is. I don't want to use the word favorite. Favorite is too dull, man. It's actually your two super Magodova presenters. That you love to hate. You understand? Or hate to love.
You wish to hate. I think wish to hate is an appropriate word. You wish.
No.
But you can't. No, you wish to. You can't.
But at the end of the day, they love us. And they can't actually stop streaming and listening to us, Yeah, so the name of the show is called The Community Connect, and as usual, we are connecting Melville and its people and its surrounding areas, and whatever community that you are in. So, Mount is purely on us so that you'd actually like to share with us about your community. No problem. Why not bring it to the community and let's bring it here in Melville, you know.
That is so lovely. Good morning, people. We've all heard stories by Yolanda that is very traumatic. Of course, she is not riding alone. This whole thing, she is joined and accompanied by me. So I think right now, next, to just come down to ease the trauma. I think sitting on Dugza as it reminds you what you must bambele, even if because bambele the taxi. Yes, bambele the taxi. So, Mr. Technical Producer must do the Lord's work and hit it more bambelela by on Dugza.
Exactly. So, Mr. Technical Producer, basically what
the same way
I'm saying
are
to you is that whatever you are going through at the moment, hold on, because guys, my season will change.
As always, God is there.
We are so
every season.
Exactly. So City Bambelela, in whatever community you are in, wherever you are, just know good one. We might not know what's happening in your life, but whatever you want to say, guys, and yell and say whatever you want to say at God.
Even if like literally, but then in your heart, whatever you have to say to God, please say it out loud. And remember to always pray before you go anywhere, guys. Legit, prayer helps. And Yolanda, we bonile today.
Every day. Because I haven't been praying when I eat. For the food, yeah. I pray every day. Every day. Before I pray every time, I'll always first be thankful. I think that's what people need to know. More times than you always start by being thankful, thanking God for everything that He's doing for you, you know. And then after thanking God, you can start asking. And then after you praise and you worship Him. That's how it's done. 3 ways, guys, of to connect it.
It's actually 4. You need to also ask for forgiveness. For your daily. I mean, you never know what it is, the sins that you have done today. Maybe with something that is not right in the eyes of the Lord, and you are not aware. Pray for that. If ever I was not right today, please. Please.
When she's actually talking about the kolele, I know there's people about to too much. So this morning, Pastor 9 to 9. So no guys. So yeah, in fact, if we had that song, we would have liked to actually play that song, you know, just to guys, us guys, we never ever actually we don't realize when we hurt Abanya Band. We sin even in the smallest ways.
And we're not aware.
And we are not aware, you know. There's things that we do on a daily basis as much as we see
and other people.
You know.
But right now we just saying that Bambelela by Undugza.
Mr. Producer, yenza izinto ezenza amabhodo ayenze because ibhodo amanzi asabhoyila khona manje ne asekatheli impuphu asekatheli itswayi asekayenzi mix sabhoyila amanzi. So Mr. Producer, please hit it.
A young boy, you pull a look shiny with no role models. Not even anyone could show morals. 4 months old, English, he says the independent. All on the road, clap, I want by parents. Yeah, turn up and let's be responsible while we do it. The smile and the look in their eyes when I buy them new kids. Like Wanye Morris and the rest of the bros. Family over everything till the end of the road. Somebody tell him it's over, it's over, it's over for my enemies. Tell him it's over. tell them it's over. They keep on wasting on their energy. From a son to a mama, this got me thinking my mama unkulisile to be the man I am. Took me away from the drama. Namhlanje I'm a better man. Namhlanje umzansi wonke treats me like a veteran. Bengisogola yeah I knew kodwa uNkulunkulu had a better plan. Kokudlula ubambelela ngesikhathi seyinkinga makuphela amaqhinga. Just keep your hopes high. You gotta keep on keeping on. Just keep on holding on. You gotta keep on keeping on. Just keep on keeping on. Pay attention to everything that's around you. Ubeka bangane scheming without you won't even count you. Ebusweni pretend on your back they talking about you. But busy but beyond their plans won't even pronounce you. Hey, all you need to do ukuthemba phezulu. Abanyafana ukuthemba ilitshe nokuthemba umuntu. Focus on ikusasa lakho, how to make it better. Wake up from your ashes clever. You need to get it together. Kube kuye phambili, no other alternative. Impilo engcono is what we trying to live. Sifuna lo mnotho, and that's just how it is. Sipusha non-stop, doing it for the kids. Just keep on holding on. You gotta keep on keeping on. Just keep on keeping on. Akukho kudlula ukubambelela ngesikhathi seyinkinga makuphela amaqhinga. Just keep your hopes high. Gotta keep on keeping on. Just keep on holding on. You gotta keep on keeping on. Just keep on keeping on. Akukho kudlula ukubambelela ngesikhathi seyinkinga makuphela amaqhinga. Just keep your hopes high. You gotta keep on keeping on. Just keep on holding on. You gotta keep on keeping on. Just keep on keeping on.
To Community Connect, where we connect people to the world and Melville, actually. So that was Ubambelela by Duksa. Today we are actually advising people to hold on the same way Nicole held on for her life.
So yeah, in whatever situation that you guys are going through, even if we're not with you, but uNkulunkulu is with you in every situation and in every way. So bambelela kuzolunga okungadluli kuyahlola.
That is very much true.
You know, that's just how it is. Welcome back to our show, and you are still with your two super Mekodova presenters, Yolanda, the Sky, you know. So we actually have a great show today, fantastic show today for you guys. And as usual, guys, you know what is the another thing, because Usana man, but she has that thing, and that thing that Usana has, she has that thing of actually turning the show into a great thing. I mean, it's like uNkulunkulu bekazi kahle kahle ukuthi Yolanda Usana, they actually make a beauty. You understand? We are like yeah, like repeating the points. It producer ayenza izinto zenzeke, and then on top of that, God actually graces her nama-presenters awaziyo ashaya umsebenzi wawo. We understand. So we actually always appreciate the producer yethu for everything that she's actually doing, for always making the show going and a success, you know, and our technical producer as well. So that's an amazing team that we have. So basically today, because in Atana Kuluma and talking about this, and as usual, we have Amatopic for Nina. Today, the topic is dangers of
Oh,
having
yena o batla ho shebella show.
people.
Oh, o batla link ya ho shebella
Especially
show.
guys,
Senya ho
guys.
stream.
You know, when it comes to people's,
Hey, how are
I like it. I like
It's
how
also
you
okay.
do.
It's also
So,
una le YouTube. Una le YouTube.
it's a myth.
Mm-mm, that's
People
what I'm
people's
saying.
Number
vicious and evil dogs. And as I believe that, I mean, I'm still speaking to that with you. I think they're
Ngiyabonga.
I totally
Okay,
agree
mjetse
with
gore fela
what
a re
you're
on YouTube.
saying,
Okay.
people
Like
like
mjetse gore on
especially
YouTube ba vele nje
Egas,
angole
no,
I
abantwana
love
basegas.
Melville.
They have this thing in the mentality ukuthi they are going to get efficient. And Egas, when you are this kid that is seeing ahamba ngePitbull, you get that fame, you get that exactly and everything, you know. And if you guys remember, the late DMX was a huge fan of our people.
Yeah, I
He
remember.
had
I
a
remember.
lot of them. né? But there's actually dangers of having such a dog. I mean, recently, I think it was day before yesterday, or yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, I read on one of my social media platforms about a 6-year-old girl that was actually killed by people.
Wait,
You know,
Is it
Atteridgeville, yeah, I understand. So
Yeah, no, you're patient.
it isn't the first time I actually hear a story about
listen.
Chinese about the people. You know, Pitbull is not actually a friendly dog that you can actually go out in a pet shop to go buy.
I would.
No, it's only for the brave. And as I always say, guys, you're not part of this world. You come from another planet. So we would actually expect you to want to have such a dog. You know?
Here's the thing, man. I've seen so
What are
many
the current
videos
shows?
whereby these dogs are just. The reason I'm saying they're misinterpreted is because of missing the videos and everything. And believing would see a dog is raised and trained to be vicious and violent and everything. So when it comes to people as well, I believe Gucci, they're not born as predators. They're not born violent. You know, it's us people who train them, and especially at us, we train them. Baba Kata, I heard Gucci for a dog to be vicious and illuminate. They cut the tail. So you find that a lot in our neighborhoods, ekasi, whereby they chop the tail for it to be illuminate, not just with pit bulls. Every dog, if you want it to illuminate, you cut the tail. Yeah, train us. I don't know how they train them, but they do train them to be vicious. That is why they kill and everything. And with pit bulls, I think it's more extra because those dogs, how they are built.
Yeah, we think good to evolve, you know.
Honestly, I still say I don't think they are born that way. As much as we were saying that a perpetrator is not born a perpetrator. Even pit bulls, they're not born to be. I mean, I look at them as they are puppies. They are the most adorable. They are.
There's nothing adorable about dogs, guys. So 6-year-old Charmaine from Atteridgeville, she was actually playing in a squatter camp outside with her friends, in her friends' yard. So actually, the dogs were actually outside. Kuna fence, you know, emakasi, like in a squatter camp especially. Kuna ma fence la mancane la ngathi ayithunyana asitu, you understand?
Yeah.
The kids are playing. Now the dogs are actually seeing the kids. The kids actually now run to the house.
Like Joan.
The dogs actually jumped immediately and ran after the kids and directly went into the house. You know, so
Yeah.
unfortunately, Charmaine, her father found her in a pool of blood. She was still, and one of the kids also died, but then the kid wasn't actually killed by people, but she actually suffered from a shock. Meaning it was almost like a heart attack because they got totally understand of what just happened. And what happens with the people is once people igluma, guys, basically it doesn't let go. That's what people does.
Like
And
a
people,
crocodile.
yeah,
does that
it
as
doesn't
well.
look for any other places to be attacking you on. No, people actually aims for the leg, so it actually knows which okay. A living person is happen. It's actually
scaring me.
Yeah, and doing research about people yesterday, I asked one of a bunch that are owning people. I was told that apparently people is a dog that is scared of water. one way to chase away a pit bull if it's coming over is by chasing water. So let's say Sky and myself, I've been chased by people. It's actually going after me, and then the Sky decides to touch the horse pipe or a manzi, What it does is it's gonna leave me, and directly it's gonna go after Sky. Lopeta man.
Oh,
It's gonna leave me. It's gonna come after you because if people, it's about a man to that point. Okay, so it's gonna now think, okay, this guy is actually trying to kill me. And once it goes to his sky, you're not gonna make it out alive. So which is why I say with the people is not a friendly dog to keep as a pet because it doesn't bite you at any other places, but it goes directly to your neck, aiming to kill. That's what people does. And once it bites you, guys, there is nothing you can do to try to take it away. I mean, if people, guys, it even attacks our owners one, which is why you need to undergo a specific training. If you are a person that wants to buy it, you go with training because there is different. Like this dog is actually special in a way that it is not already. Brought up already, just like an ordinary dog. No, it has some special needs. Why? You understand? If it is not fed at the correct time, and it is not given enough, it attacks you. You understand? If people doesn't want and going to place, it doesn't want to be doing so. If people, I would say that it's more like a human being, guys, because if you're always keeping it in a cage, keeping it locked up and everything, you're making it to be angry, aggressive.
Yes.
So if people doesn't want that, it actually wants to be wandering around, going up and down. It wants its own freedom. So if you're a person that's actually thinking about going to get people, you need to undergo a specific training to know about this dog. This dog has special requirements that it needs. It's not like any other ordinary dog. If you don't feed it at the correct time, it attacks you, the owner. It thinks that you are actually abusing or harming it. It is even aggressive. The moment it gets one excess of going out, it attacks whatever comes its way. Which is why I say it is not a friendly dog to be keeping. It's a dog and a fool. It's basically this is a human being, guys. It doesn't want to be abused. The moment you abuse it, it lashes back.
do you understand everything that you are saying is kind of supporting my statement? I mean, most dogs, as much as if a dog is always caged, the moment it gets freedom, it runs out. Maybe yellow, I don't know that, but then I think they are misunderstood. Once obviously it is a caging or heavy fussy, it's gonna get that. Every dog is like that.
You know, I'll back to the what you were saying because with regards to Sky, what happens is as much as you give it a freedom, whatever you do, a normal dog, like any other ordinary dog, let's say maybe it's chasing after someone or doing something. If the owner comes and you are able to call it, it stops immediately and comes back. That's what a normal dog does. But if you as an owner, so it's actually not a dog. And especially with kids, I was actually having a conversation with someone after reading this incident.
No,
She says that you know how the Chinese baby and everything like that. But then the people where the moment it gets the access,
No, that's not true. It's not. I mean, like, I've seen them as well, and I know people, and it's not the case. They are trained to be like that. And if it's not trained, it is
Lokuwa wena moratuwa
sweet.
wa ka.
That's one thing I know. If it's not trained like that, it is sweet. I mean,
Bomma.
okay, Mama can service
Ha ke na ke selo ka lena.
she was a domestic worker before. And like the lady that she was working for had these dogs. And they were the most sweetest dogs. They were like, I don't know what we call these dogs as ngalumi. Mkotoi. Now people all they did was just to keep sleep. That's the only thing that they did. And I think it goes back to the freedom. They had all the freedom. They were not caged. They were brought up with they should interact with people, love people. That is all. They were not brought up as security dogs. They were just normal house dogs. That's how they were brought up.
Okay, I get what you say, right? But then what we also need to know is that people should not be afraid because they are actually the most exploited dogs, right? Abused and neglected, abandoned, tortured and raped, and overbred dogs. So this is what actually happened in North America. This is what people were doing. So that's why I was saying earlier on that it doesn't want you to lock it, to keep it caged or locked, or passing a machine, or and everything. If you are a person that knows that you can't take care of anything, it is always wise not to have my people. It's wise actually let's just not talk about the people. It's wise just not to have anything as a pet if you're a person that doesn't have time.
Okay, doesn't have time. There you are. Okay, so let's go back to this. I've been reading here. It says the myth about pit bulls. First and foremost, a myth is the term pit bull. So it is pit bull is not a breed for a dog. So pit bull is actually a generic term applied to various breeds on how you actually treat them. Dogs that are actually raised to be fighters, to be aggressive, and be vile. They are pit bulls as well. So you find many dogs like both American Stepfire, the blue blood dogs and everything. Those big dogs, they are called pit bulls only because of how they are raised. And another myth is pit bulls are not born to fight. So pit bulls dogs are not born ready to rip another dog or animal or human. They're trained to fight by people who are interested in making profits and providing entertainment in the form of a dog fight. So another myth is that pit bulls are people say pit bulls are naturally violent, aggressive, mean, and very dangerous dogs. People are not inherently dangerous dogs. So apparently, like any other dog, they can become violent, aggressive, and mean through a lack of training, abuse, neglect, and responsible ownership from people. If they're treated with respect and trained properly, they'll become less, all of that, violent, aggressive, and everything. So it's us who make them. It's the people who raise them to actually be violent in that way. So you're right. They need their freedom, like any other dog. As much as Titata, maybe let me say, a Chihuahua. A Chihuahua
It's top of the hour. Time for news on iLOVEmelville.LIVE.
A jackknife truck causes 13-car pile-up on N1 during Cape Town rush hour traffic. President Cyril Ramaphosa says cancel this thing about the 22 million flag project. Zweli Mkhize's name surfaces in another SIU investigation, this time over a 114 million rand deal. Carolina residents to address President Cyril Ramaphosa on service delivery matters. Good morning, a warm welcome. Your top stories at this hour are as following. Motorists in Cape Town can expect heavy traffic delays during their morning commute after a multi-vehicle pile-up resulted in the temporary closure of the N1 highway today. Traffic officials estimated that 13 vehicles were involved in the collision caused by a truck jackknifing. City of Cape Town Traffic Services spokesperson Kevin Jacobs says the N1 inbound is initially closed at Mike Pioneer Boulevard, but will later reopen for motorists. Traffic officers are assisting at a multiple vehicle crash scene where a truck has jackknifed. Motorists are advised to proceed with caution and use alternative routes, says Jacobs. He added that traffic was being diverted to the Plattekoff Road off-ramp. Motorists are advised to use Franz Caddy Drive and Voortrekker Road as alternative routes. At the time of the publication, officials had not been able to determine if anyone had been injured in the crash. The full complement of the city's emergency services are on the scene. President Cyril Ramaphosa says he told Sports, Arts and Culture Minister Nathi Mthethwa to cancel the controversial 22 million rand project to erect a 100-meter flag pole at Freedom Park in Pretoria. Yesterday, Mthethwa announced that he directed his department to review the process related to the monumental flag and in its totality. However, Ramaphosa's comments intensively state that the project has been cancelled. While addressing a Black Business Council gala dinner last night, Ramaphosa said the government listened to the concerns of its people, which led to the upcoming public procurement bill. He then quipped to laughter and applause from the crowd that government always listened, just like Minister Mthethwa listened about the flag. At the dinner last night, Ramaphosa recalled a phone conversation with Mthethwa, who told him, President, this flag thing, which is such a wonderful initiative, it seems our people are not happy with it. Ramaphosa says he told him, of course, they are not happy with it. And then Mthethwa asked him why they needed to do it. The president then said, cancel this thing. Ramaphosa then re-emphasized that he's showed that this is a listening government. We listen to what our people say. We don't ride roughshod over our people. He acknowledged that the price was too high and that while the project was shelved, we will see it once our economy is flying. Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Sports said the department previously reported that 1.7 million was spent on geotechnical studies for the project so far. Former Health Minister Zweli Mkhize's name has surfaced the Special Investigation Unit investigation probing how a KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Treasury tender ballooned from 3.5 million to 114 million. News 24 can reveal that an SIU investigation completed last February found that a contract for the provision of the forensic risk services called Operation Unembeza, awarded to the Universal Security Services by the Provincial Treasury in September 2007, was irregular. Mkhize was a MEC for Finance and Economic Development at the time. According to an affidavit by an SIU investigator, which formed the basis of the SIU's findings, the circumstances around USS appointed showed that in February 2008, the KZN Treasury former head Sipho Shabalala wrote a letter to Mkhize motivating for Operation Unembeza to be rolled out to all provincial government departments. President Cyril Ramaphosa, accompanied by members of his cabinet as well as provincial and local leaders, will be in a small town of Carolina in Mpumalanga today as part of the presidential Imbizo. The delegation will engage with communities in the Gert Sibande district municipality on how best to address the immediate challenges and create conditions for long-lasting stability and development. This is the third installment of the presidential Umbizos, with the first two conducted in the Free State and Northwest provinces earlier in the year. Meanwhile, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma says the president will come. The people will say what the issues are. The ministers will then take note of that. Some will respond, but some will have to come back together with the province to say this is what was raised and what to do about it. She then adds, while the municipality may not have all the money to do that, but if work together, we can still achieve, because in the past, we have been working in the silos. There are lots of resources that are being spent, but if you spend it individually in silos, it doesn't make the necessary impact on the ground. And finally, in the weather today, in Vereeniging, it's 12 degrees, mostly sunny outside. And in Johannesburg, rather, it's 17 degrees Celsius, mostly sunny. And in Pretoria, it's 17 degrees, mostly sunny. Thank you for tuning in at iLOVEmelville.LIVE. I am Khatebe Ntokozo with your English news.
Next time when you take a trip to heaven, please take me with you. Don't leave me. I've never been to this place. I'm on a different headspace. I'm still trying to piece myself together, so please have patience. I sit on this couch like every day, thinking about the things that I can't change. But damn, I just wanna relax, kick my feet and put them on the table. Maybe steal the gold from all the rainbows. What we have is real. We have so much in common. We're definitely someone I would like to go back home with. Turn off the TV. You can play those songs and we can live inside this moment. I swear it feels so infinite. Couch energy and conscious conversation. The best remedy, explore imagination. Couch energy and conscious conversation. The best remedy, explore imagination. Freeloader's paradise. Please don't ask me for advice. My screws loosen up sometimes. I have a very colorful mind. Don't need no drugs to cope. This is one of those sober notes. I've been rocking the same clothes. I don't even do no squad goals. Television is a trap. I still watch it anyways. I don't really take it serious. I understand it's entertainment. Everything is systematic. Energy so static. Foreplay fantastic. Couch surfing the best way. What we have is real. We have so much in common. We're definitely some I would like to go back home. Turn off the TV. You can play those songs and we can live inside this moment. I swear it feels so infinite. definition. Couch energy and conscious conversation. Best remedy, explore imagination. Couch energy and conscious conversation. Best remedy, explore imagination.
like, how would you feel if you are feeling some type of way about it? Imagine if unomntwana ke who's homosexual and you are forcing them to actually go to church but keep a loss of spirit of a demon. Imagine that.
I mean, if you guys look back, ne, when Mugabe was still alive, Mugabe, you know, basically, okay, no, let me just start it this way. President or the late President
Robert
Mugabe,
Robert.
there was a statement, even if you Google it right now, it will tell you. Robert Mugabe killed
and banned
and burned people about lesbian and gays. He says that he does not want dogs and pigs in his country. That's the term that he used for them. And then you find ukuthi
and
umuntu when
Tanzania as
ahamba
well.
aya ekhaya aya eZimbabwe ne uba straight. Umangali then sozohlangana naye lana and then ungase understand, you know. It's because of that person, the kind of environment that they had, because they could not be whoever and what they actually wanted to be. We understand. And I think that actually there's a question that I have, and I'd actually like our producer. Our producer is actually a God-fearing woman. She's a Christian. I'd like her to actually be a person that's answering this. And let's take it back to the Bible. You understand? Let's take it back to the Bible. I would actually like Usana to actually define the term homophobia. You know, I want Usana to actually, let's take it back to the Bible. You know, because if you guys
does she agree with homosexual? I think that's the
question.
That's the
if
question.
you guys actually look at the
Do you
Bible,
believe in homosexuality?
Revelation. I think Revelation is actually talking about everything that's happening. You understand? It's talking about all the sicknesses and diseases that are coming, that are going to be killing people and won't be able to be cured. It's talking about prophet Manga. It's literally talking about everything that is happening. It's actually talking about men sleeping with men and women sleeping with women. That's what it's doing.
So
it was
actually Gomorrah as well.
Exactly.
Is it Gomorrah?
It is. It is. When
Lord,
yes.
yeah.
When actually they wanted to sleep with my angels. That's when God said, you know what, actually, I want to destroy this place because we cannot be sleeping with an angel, you know. So could we actually say, Mrs. Producer and technical producer, I think we also need it from a male's point of view. Would you actually say, Uguti, this homophobic discrimination, it started way back in the Bible? Would you guys say that? So I think in the mic,
the golden mic.
About views. Do you guys think that homophobia, it actually started way back in the Bible? And how do you guys actually
feel about it? Do you
it?
think homosexuality is a good thing or it's an abomination, as most people see it?
Biblically, it's an abomination. And Mina growing up, being lesbian. So in the homosexuality, it's a spirit. It's a fact to which it's a spirit. So I had the spirit, my feelings for other ladies, and you practice mfana and then given a girlfriend. But after a prayer, after a deliverance prayer, him longi right, I don't have those feelings anymore. Send it straight. So
I want to ask Sana. So Sana, I come to you, you know, bearing everything that you want as a female. Don't reject.
Yes, not reject her because I'm not my feelings anymore. And this Linda be humble my feelings.
So basically, guys, this is actually our producer. Would you actually say Uguti, homophobia, it started from the Bible? I mean, when the Bible says that God actually destroyed Gomorrah and Sodom because of male people that wanted to sleep with my angel. You understand?
Yeah.
So would you say it was actually being homophobic? Everything that's actually happening in Konamanje, I believe. So would you actually say it was homophobia?
For me, ngathi because biyenzwa uNkulunkulu angengiyibizi homophobia because uNkulunkulu angithi wabulala abantu because those men were sleeping with other men. And I once said to somebody who a female is a female follows a man. Whatever a man does, a female is good on following. So even this thing here, homosexuality, then women they joined along. but biblically siyazi ngamadoda ayilala namanye amadoda, and uNkulunkulu called it an abomination. He even destroyed the countries who were practicing that. So biblically phambi kobuso bukaNkulunkulu, it's an abomination because
sin.
uNkulunkulu pusha i-agenda, guys. uNkulunkulu pusha i-agenda yokuthi abantu bahlale bekhona emhlabeni. So if you just allow ukuthi usana athandane no Yolanda, and then nomunye athandane nomunye, and then guys, are you aware ukuthi ngeke uNkulunkulu esaba nama generations?
Yeah.
Actually, we are killing our generations to come. So mina personally anginankinga, but inkinga yami one. If sonke sizochinja, ndoda to ndoda, mfazi to mfazi, ama-generation alandelayo azovelaphi?
Technology is improving, Sana.
Robots.
Not just robots. Technology thing. What is this? The incubators for that makes babies. Baby, basically, you plant
vitro and everything like that.
So everything right now is just technology is. I think it's improving with the lifestyle. And again, like, going to the biblical sense, Igasana. The Bible says God knew you while you were still in your mother's womb.
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
would He actually create you like that? If Bera was good to advantage, why would He create you like that? And I'd like to actually make an example before you answer that. My cousin is a boy, ne? Is a boy. Skule sonke, you know, I equivalent to it's a spread. Skule sonke and everything. And from Bunyaning Bahai, he was showing, you know, gay signs. He was very flamboyant than more than I was as a girl, you know. He was just always, and there was a thing, okay, there's no denying this. This is how he was born. You know, he was not influenced by him being with a lot of girls, because he has male cousins, a lot of male cousins than girl cousins. So it was a thing like that. So I want to know, from your point of view, what if God knew you while you were still in your mother's womb and created you like that?
Yes, coming to God creating umuntu as a gay or a lesbian. Biblically, there's no such. Biblically, God created a male and a female, indoda nomfazi. And then the rest, more better even in the homosexuality, ibe khona along the way, as people were growing emhlabeni, as people were learning things emhlabeni. So ngathi akusiyinto uNkulunkulu akasidalanga uNkulunkulu ukuthi singazazi ukuthi siyini. Ukudala komfana nentombazana, that's it. Why ngithi it's a spirit? Even biblically, mawibheka iyenza isense if it's a spirit. Because iBible, even iBible, uNkulunkulu uthi kuJeremiah, if lesikhathi Jeremiah ethi mina can't be a prophet, ebeka ama-reasons, uNkulunkulu uthi ngikwaze usesesiswini sikama wakho. So even the spirit can even attack usesesiswini sikama wakho. Uthi uvela. Yes, uthi uvele naso, because khona abomama abathi mabe pregnant athi mina umntwana wami intombazana, and umntwana kancane makasesiswini uyareceive ngithi umntwana uzoreceive leyo nto ukuthi my baby girl, umntwana wami ngizomgqokisa this, uvela seke receive the spirit from isibeleko sikama wakhe, from isibelekweni.
You know, Mrs. Producer, I'd actually like to add on to what you're saying. God says, "Good, I knew you from this country, right?" And God is the one that actually wrote our journeys and our lives. He knew good working. And not forgetting good in everything that God knows about life or how it's going to turn out. We always have two options in life. So Satan is no options. uNkulunkulu uyafika bakunikeza option la ukuthi yenza so, and then kuphuma kuwe as a person ukuthi which option you actually gonna take. And God already knows ukuthi okay, ngesikhathi esikanje she is actually gonna opt this thing. She's actually gonna be tempted by uSatan. You know, it could be indlela yakhe eyokudlula. So basically, when saying God knew ukuthi okay, kune spirit esizomngena lo muntu lona uzoba into ekanje at this certain time. You know, she's going to be living this life.
Why doesn't he prevent that from happening?
He cannot prevent that from happening, which is why we are always given our choice. We are the ones that have a choice of doing the right or the bad. That is why we've got the conscious. That is why I've seen the conscious.
Okay. Going back to conscious, do you think Uti, lesbian people and gay people do not have a conscious? They see this thing as something wrong, but then they're still doing it?
No. Listen to it. Let's say unemali, like 1,000 rand, right? And then obviously, kuzofika that desire ka Satan. Satan, guys, this is what he always does. Also advertise ukuthi endlini akunakudla kunani and nayo imali la eduze kwakho ne. That's the first thing that's gonna come. The second one, you know how God is. The second one that's gonna say no, but then I mean ngikwazi uthatha imali yakadineo. We understand. You conscious eshoyo le ekubonisayo ukuthi you always have that thing. But obviously, being umuntu, we always opt to go to indlela yakabani yakasatan. Always expecting good. I'll get home and I'll pray about it. God will what? Will forgive me. Because that's what we people do all of the time, like most of the time. We do things on purpose, expecting and no good news. God's a forgiving God, and which He is. We understand. So, with being lesbian and being gay, God knew from the time you were actually going to be born, this is what's going to be happening in life. Yeah, we understand. This is how this person is actually going to be living. And then not because I, God, am letting it be. It's a choice that this person actually opted to happen, or the spirit akhethe ukuhamba naso. But being a loving God, I will always be there for that person, no matter what. We understand. But now, what I would actually like to know is, when they die, I'm a lesbian and gay people, because we all talked about heaven and earth and which must show where we're going. What
That's
happens?
a good question.
Do they actually go to heaven? Because now it's a major sin, and it's the Bible says what they're doing. So do they actually go to heaven?
Basically, lesbians, gays will be seen in hell.
That's what they basically say.
For anyone who's watching who's from the LGBTQI community, these are our thoughts, and you're open to actually sharing yours
to share
as well.
I mean, we are a community radio station at the end of the day, and we're talking about things that are actually happening in this world. And what we are saying is, people are allowed to be whatever you want to be. You are taught from a young age, if you want to be a doctor or a singer, go after your dreams and be. So if you're comfortable in being attracted to women, that is who you are. We're not judging anyone. And I think that maybe you'd like to explain. There's different types of butch. Yeah, a butch, apparently, I don't know if I'm correct. A butch is actually a girl that acts like a boy or dresses like a boy, but it's not into. It's not lesbian. It's not dating a mandombazan. That's what I heard.
That is a tomboy.
Yes, a tomboy.
A tomboy. A butch or stud is someone who is actually lesbian and is more masculine. Let me just say it. Does not act like a boy, but then is more masculine than feminine. Then you find femmes, as they say, the females who are just feminine, like you and I. Those are, and there are a lot of sexualities.
Exactly.
There's a lot of sexual orientation.
With gays, kunama bottom, kunama top. Apparently I'm a bottom. They're girls.
Yeah.
I'm a top. I'm male. So that's just how it is, guys. So we just wanted to dish out that. We actually want to have views with TikTok. If you have anything to say, comment to say, we'd actually like to talk about it. And then on Monday we can read out our comments, because this is actually something that's happening with my societies. We're finding people that are actually
is a lot.
killing our lesbians and killing our gay. Exactly.
It happens in the workplace as well. We get discriminated.
One of the things that we'd actually like to end Lime Sabine, So I think we can actually wrap up it dishing out, and then we can actually go to a school talk. And then, since we're a community radio station, we actually talk about things that are happening there.
Yes.
So with school talk, we're going to be talking about racism. But before we actually head on to school talk, let's play a song. I think the Portuguese has been dull. And then Friday, we understand about let's
I forgot. You don't forget that it's a Friday.
We understand, and we want to put this child. So I think let's have our first song of the day. And make people
calling for you. Yes, like yes, like
yeah, And as we said on Wednesday, we corner is this song is actually dedicated to you.
And finding your soulmate.
And finding your soulmate, I know our producer doesn't have a soulmate. And I know our technical producer doesn't have a soulmate. So even if our social media person doesn't have a soulmate. So the song is so this song is actually dedicated to those people
No, this song is dedicated to the entire team except for me. Kahle, kahle. So people, Nina and my soulmate, this is for you guys.
This is for you guys. That's now. I'm a pagate now. So this is for you guys. And I'm a pagate. And I'm a chuba. And I'm next. This song is actually for you guys.
Getting away, cause I don't want to. I'm stuck on you, and I ain't complaining. Bring me serenity, bring me joy, yeah, you bring me peace, my happy place. Every day, I won't predict you. You bring something new, so stimulating. Every day, I ever really wanted, you possess it all. Getting away, cause I don't want to. Bring me serenity, bring me joy. Every day, I won't predict you. Every day, I ever really wanted. Cause when I look into your eyes, I see a beautiful soul. And whenever I'm around you, got my whole world spinning round and round. And I can't help but keep falling for you. I keep falling for you. I can't help but keep falling.
This song just pains my heart, guys. Everything about that song is perfect. If beat corner, if video corner. I mean, the guys okay, I'm a shades, you fucking a little blacky, skin blacky. You know, that's just how it is. Oh, DJ Kennedy, DJ Mr. Mo, keep falling for you. You know, dedicated to everyone that is falling for someone, and that person is nowhere to be found, or that person you know, which is did it for you. So rather just send that person that song or type of lyrics on
keep falling for you.
you know, keep falling for you. Keep it plain and simple. Never say share too much, guys. Like just say I keep falling for you. Or download that song and then
Send it to them.
you know, make someone's day, guys. Thank you guys for still tuning into E-Community Connect. And then let's actually go to the school talk. After a school talk, we're actually going to guest theatre for our second topic. So, for school talk, we're actually talking about everything that's happening around the world, around our country. In fact, I mean, we earlier on we spoke about my people after the incident that happened to little Charmaine in Atteridgeville, and then so now we will actually want to talk about school talk about racism in schools. I mean, this week social media has been buzzing, guys. You understand? And this isn't actually the first incident that happened. We had a student at Stellenbosch that was actually recorded and went viral on Facebook, on social media. He was actually urinating on someone's laptop property, let's just put it like that. And that property belonged to a black student.
So he was right.
He was right, yes. And
I haven't seen that video with them.
it's viral in fact, and it makes you think. I think even last year there's a school, it was St. John's, yes, just here in Horton. There was a teacher that was actually suspended
most expensive
because of
in South
racism.
Africa.
And the racism most of the time can happen in some multiracial schools.
That's
I
true.
mean, a teacher on racism. It's impossible.
I feel like Abana.
No, because most of the time, not most of the time, actually, it is like that. It's mainly black students or black kids, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
And like it's rare to find maybe a teacher that is of other race. That is white, and it's rare. When I say that I compare it's very rare, you know.
So that's why we actually wanted to talk about this. I mean, you should have seen our comment Wabantu that are actually happening and everything like that. We understand the things that people are saying, and
I don't know how they justified it. From what I heard, how the video was justified. They were saying the freshmen, first year, that's what they do to first years. That is how the video was justified.
Exactly. But then when we are sitting at home, especially after history, you know where our country comes from, history and chance, we understand. So people get to ask, what this child is actually doing is not doing it on purpose. This child is actually doing something. They were taught. This is okay because they were taught from a young age. Because people believe that he was actually taught by
Parents.
my parents were because they had this agenda against.
So this is rooted game.
We understand. I mean, we found a comment about to say, please borrow us that person just for 3 minutes as a 10 piece or as a Alex. You know. And one comment that I actually loved was, where is the operational Dudula? Why is he quiet?
Where is it?
You know,
Where is
because
after
they say Lax is actually on black on black. Why isn't he commenting and saying anything about what was happening? I loved that comment. You know, I actually loved it because he didn't comment. He didn't say anything. There was nothing found.
Really,
he could say, yeah.
So people everyone was waiting for his comment to say something. And I think back in the days, man, we would have been waiting for Julius to say something. And then Julius Ukulile, let me just say Ukulile, because he's learned to actually work with Africans. If you are in Africa, and then it doesn't matter if you're white or what, he has learned to actually work with everyone in Africa.
He hasn't. He hasn't. I mean, if you guys remember, I think it was last month or a couple of months back. He was in court. There's actually a video of him that went viral because of that song that he had. And the things that that person was actually answering, guys, it just shows Uguti. I thought because our country is still living in history. It just shows that there's still people that
I had hope for Julius because he has white people even on EFF. So I really thought Guti, you know, Kulile man, Kanti.
I mean, guys, an example, I went to a multiracial school and
Did you suffer from?
no, in fact, you know what I loved about it is we had white teachers, right? And actually black kids were actually more compared to white kids in that school, you understand? But there was never ever such a thing because we had learned about the history of our country and the history of what our parents went through. And then we had learned, I mean, Mandela introduced in democracy, you understand? He introduced peace in our land, you know, as it says, the Masakuli Nkosi Sikelel and everything. Nkosi Sikelel also makes it to show people that we are one because we are Africans. We understand.
Yeah.
It shows good. There's no black, there's no white, there's no Indian, there's no colored. We are actually one nation. We understand. So
Then why is it still happening?
why is it still happening?
I mean, remember this? I think it's a couple of years back, not three. I don't know how many years back, but there was a case whereby these school kids, black kids, were not allowed to actually. I don't want to say show off, but then wear their black hair with pride. They were forced to actually cut off.
I
their-
remember.
You remember that story?
And it actually became so viral, even in international overseas,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I remember.
And I'm like, your hair. So if black kids, black students are supposed to actually cut off their hair, why not white kids are supposed to cut off their hair? Because there are also students there. Why aren't they actually forced to be cutting their hair as well?
I think, Sky, we need to look at it like this way. What is racism? I mean, if that video, it was a way of them actually welcoming them first year. You know, even in high school, there's a way where they're actually introducing them grade 8 and everything.
Yeah.
You know, if Baba Papa is right? As they say.
Yeah.
So are we actually, Africans, turning to look at everything, even a little thing, turning to look at it in racism? We don't actually look upward because I feel we are still holding on to the past.
You know what they say, man? If anything, I saw it on social media. This girl, Elsa, was saying that if anything I love being black is that you can't be racist. They say you can't be racist if you are black. But then I've seen so many black people who are actually very racist.
A lot.
Yeah, because apparently the black privileges go where you can actually call out white people wherever they are and call them whatever you want to call them. But then if you're a white person and say this, the N word or the K word in South Africa,
It's a huge thing.
it's a huge thing. You
It's like
know?
that's so bulele umuntu. That's what's basically happening. Which is why I'm saying, what is racism? I was still holding on to even though it's Dala, and we are not seeing what is actually happening. I mean,
I feel like we are. I feel like we're even in our government. I mean, I feel like even not just our government, but the older generation, a generation before us. I mean, when it comes to local elections and stuff, there's the parties and then there's DA. DA is usually mostly it's white people. And people of South Africa still holding on to that thing already. As long as it's white people, we will not give them a chance because apparently apartheid will come back and everything.
exactly. And you know what they say? I remember about it was this black guy. Was my man. When my man was working, black people always had that mentality of they only using it to be
He's brainwashed.
He's brainwashed to be a snitch, to do all of
Their work.
of their work and everything like that. You understand? So if we still want to be caught in that mentality,
Yeah, you know that mentality. It's nuts because I feel like for South Africans, if you're a person who's well educated, let me just say, and well spoken, you are apparently brainwashed. And if you communicate more in English and then ikasi and so you are brainwashed.
We are born. That's what they say. We understand. There is people that actually like I'm a black people, African people that actually speak out of all their time, 90% of everything they say, they speak in English. And then we as other black people, when you look at this person, lawyers as well, lawyers, Shela, and everything like that. So what I'm saying is we're not condoning because we don't know what really happened. Like people have video there and we're not condoning or supporting anything. But what we are actually saying is that we need to be educating our kids and let them know. Let's go of the past. You know what I would say, guys?
Oh,
I would say,
the link.
even that kind of generation, they should stop teaching them about what Abalungu did. In the way apartheid must end. Yeah, it must end because even when it's educating our children, telling them, we are actually giving them a platform to tell them these people hated us. They'll grow up hating Abanye Aban. You understand? So we should just
And I feel like
and let it go.
we are creating, I think, social boundaries between black and white people. I mean, you find if a white person comes to us, they feel so scared. They get so terrified. And then if a black person we are myself saying they feel scared as well, but I think they're intimidated. That's the right word. They feel intimidated once they go to the burbs. So we need to actually kind of shift that racism, what racism is, and kind of focus on the future.
On the future. I think history guys must fall. No more teaching abantwana about the apartheid. Let's rather teach them about teach them about things that are happening.
Innovation, maybe we can innovation. Maybe instead of history in schools, but innovation whereby kids are learning about what to do in the future, what to build, things that they should be looking forward to, you know?
Yeah, let's teach kids about fish oil, and things like that, you know. And stop focusing on the past.
I think the reason why China is more, I don't want to say specific, but then I hate with technology because they don't look at
they don't. They're actually looking at ways of
improving their lives, future, changing the future. Most things, guys, most technology, innovative technology, they come from China because abantwana from the young age about teaching history, but then they teach them about the future. Let me just say that. Just the future.
Just the future.
So Africa needs to actually look at that as well. Even in school to kind of eradicate these things you see black kids you know, and then white kids teach kids about the future, not the past. Honestly.
Finish it like so I think we can actually wrap up in school talk Konamanje, and then we can just talk about a health corner, then after a health corner. After Indabeni, do we actually is our guest ready? After Indaba, and then we're actually going to be talking to our guest. So I think that we can actually go to the health corner. The health corner here today is we're actually talking about acidic cancer, you know. But before we actually go into okay, let's actually talk about our guest. But then looking at the time now, guys, I think it's kind of saying Indaba, you know. Let's actually give it Indaba, and then after Indaba, then it gets you to say ready. So hopefully, Mamele, as I always tell you guys, as it dope, we will bring you professional people, professional again, Rosa. And you know, my question is well,
I really hope there won't be any connectivity issues. I
am also praying and hoping for that, you know. So let us go to the news, and then after the news, let's connect more.
It's top of the hour, time for news on iLOVEmelville.LIVE. It's top of the hour, time for news on iLOVEmelville.LIVE.
Alright, it seems like Otinko is not ready yet. Because I'm so looking forward to actually hearing about this thing. Maybe it's even on the news.
It is. It's everywhere.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's actually everywhere.
Guys, can think where do I live? Because I haven't seen this video. I haven't been seeing this trend. This not trend, but then this viral, terrifying video. For me, from what I'm hearing, it's terrifying. I wouldn't want someone exploiting my property. Hell will break loose. I believe hell will break loose.
I think Utinigo is actually ready for us, so let's go to the news now.
It's top of the hour. Time for news on iLOVEmelville.LIVE.
Welcome to the news. The time is 12 p.m. and our top stories at this hour. Stage 2 load shedding in the evenings all weekend. ESCOM and Gauteng ANC needs younger generation to take over the reins, says Nkiza. ESCOM says a shortage of generation capacity has persisted, and stage 2 load shedding will be implemented from 5 to 10 on Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays evening, as previously commuted. Due to the continued shortage of generation capacity, stage 2 load shedding will be implemented from 5 until 10 tonight. Load shedding will be repeated at the same time on Saturday and Sunday evenings. ESCOM will continue to closely monitor the system, adjust and communicate any changes as may be necessary. Nkiza warns that every day the government party loses supporters and will continue in this trajectory at the 2024 general polls beyond if the younger generation in the ANC doesn't rise up and take over the reins. It's likely that his warnings will not fall on deaf ears within his organization, as the party in Gauteng, which is South Africa's economic hub, in a few votes short of losing power, it narrowly won control of the province in 2019, gathering 50.19% of the votes cast. Nkiza says there's a lot of work to be done in the province ANC branches, arguing that the ANC has suffered due to some of its own members' obsession with occupying government positions and attaining the perks that will come with it. Further incidents of ESCOM sabotage at ESCOM power stations thwart efforts to halt load shedding. Two further suspicious incidents at ESCOM power stations yesterday and today, just a day after ESCOM confirmed 2 acts of sabotage at its Tutuka power station, have increased fears that an orchestrated sabotage campaign is underway to prevent a halt to load shedding. In the early hours of Friday, ESCOM officials at Hendrina power station were unable to start up Unit 5, and upon inspection found that during the night, copper bars on the unit's generator have been removed, and reactor F bars had also been removed. Officials suspect theft, but it was unclear how any theft would be able to gain access to Hendrina premises and have enough time to remove the cables and the reactor bars from the 3 units. In another incident, the incorrect oil was used for Unit 2 at Duva Power Station, meaning a further delay to return the 570 megawatts units to service. Duva Unit 2 return to service date was nearly 6 months overdue, due to a series of apparent mistakes that kept delaying the completion of work at the power station. And lastly, Russia deploys its Terminator armored fighting vehicles designed for urban combat. Russia has deployed its Terminator tank support vehicles in Ukraine as the Russian military campaign seeks to encircle Ukrainian defenders in the eastern Donbas region. Russia is believed to have around 9 of the armored vehicles, which is built on the chassis of the T-72 tank. The Terminator, which has the official designation BMPT, is heavily armored and armed, designed to defend tanks from the ambush and attacks at close range in urban settings. I am Dingo Mashaba at iLOVEmelville.LIVE. Stay tuned.
It's top of the hour. Time for news on iLOVEmelville.LIVE.
Back to Community Connection. And as I said earlier on in the introduction, our show actually started a little bit late today at 10:30, so we're actually going to be ending the show at 12:30. So thank you so much, Dinigo, for keeping us informed with what's happening around in and around the world. And our guest is actually ready to be talking to us. So our second topic for today is actually about our counseling sessions, and being this I don't know if I should say show or radio station, but this show, because we're talking about us, that we always bring the real McCoy guys, abantu abafundile, abazi izinto, abantu abazositshela the right information, because We like passing on
Because we like
accurate,
quality and
exactly
anyway.
accurate information, you know. So we actually have a guest. Our guest also works at Theta FM. So 7 wait. That's the guy.
We are Ted.
We are Theta.
But I heard he's a DJ.
Yeah,
And he does
counseling as well. Yes, he's a DJ at Theta FM. So he does both the counseling and is also
That
a
is
DJ.
nice.
Yes. So is our guest actually ready for us?
No.
Tell him to put
Hi.
on the headset.
Please put on our headsets, our earphone.
Oh, Jesus. I don't have my headphone. I'm not in the studio. My God. Good. How will I do this? Let me see if I can do this one.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
we
hear you
can.
now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I think you can't hear us.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Let me go get headsets. Let me go get headsets.
Okay, great. So while we actually
Ella?
hello, are you with us?
Ella? Hello?
Hello.
Ella?
Yes, we're still here, and we can you hear us?
Hello? I'm trying to get on my
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you clearly. I'm trying to get headset in the studio.
No, it's fine. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me.
Good
Yes.
morning.
So
Can
you
you
don't
hear us?
you don't need headset. It's fine now.
Can you hear us?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Perfect. Thank you, Tati, for joining us here at Community Connection. I go by Yolanda, and this is Guy with me. So today we actually have a topic here which is called counseling sessions
And the need for
counseling sessions. So Tati, the first question I have for you, I'd like you first before I ask you a question, I'd like you to give a brief description of who Uzati is
an introduction.
And what does Uzati do?
Well, thank you so much. Let me greet your listeners as well as you guys there. I'm going by the name of Tatiteke. I am a radio presenter. I heard you saying that even before I say it. How do you know that?
But you also do that you're constantly done. You're a producer, a presenter or producer.
I'm a presenter. I'm a radio presenter. Yes. Perfect. Look, Tati is one of the little young guys who is from Val. Academically, I've done so many things, I can't count them, but I only want to talk about the one that we are going to face on it. I'm a professional counselor. I also run the counseling classes for everyone who wants to be a counselor, not just lay counselor, but professional counselors. So it's part of that. But apart from that, there are a number of things that I have done. I am a legal person. I have a degree in LLB. So there's a lot that I've done. But that is why I wanted to say Tati is one person who is, community driven in terms of social issues that are affecting community and also the issues that people are avoiding to address. So basically, it's how briefly I can say who I am.
Oh, great. I heard you in your introduction talking about that you also have training classes whereby you're training people that want to be counselors. So you're not only offering counseling, but you're also assisting people that actually want to take it as a career path.
Correct. We also are having lessons that we are giving to community for people who want to be counselors. Perfect, as you said it.
So the first question that I'd like to ask you is, what is a counselor? I'd actually like you to give me an explanation of what is a counselor and what does a counselor do, because most people, when you talk about counseling, the first thing that comes to mind is social workers, therapists, and everything like that. So I just want to know, what is a counselor and what does a counselor do?
Thanks for the question. I think one will explain counseling in different ways, but the common ideal of explaining counsel, it's
Can you hear us, Jesse?
maybe it's a where they can basically help the client to. Are you with me? You are buffing.
Yes, we're
Are you
still
with
with
me?
you. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we're still
You are
with you.
buffing. Are you with me? Okay, yes, good, thanks. I'm saying it's a connection between a client and a counselor, where a counselor will definitely make sure to help the client to deal with issues that are emotional turmoil to them, maybe issues that they cannot talk to about to anybody. And but the work of a counselor is to make sure that the client come with possible solution for for their problem, or whatever problem they are encountering. So basically, it's what a counseling is.
Okay. So I have a question for you, Tati, is that
Correct.
what is the need for a person to seek out counseling immediately after a traumatic experience or event?
Hmm. You know, there are a number of dimensions that actually will lead to you seeking counseling. One, it's emotional break. Two will be physical sensations. So there are a number of things, but the most thing it's to help you to deal with the problem that we have faced before. Remember, we have people who commit suicide, we have people who become aggressive, we have people who can't even know where their direction of life is going. It's because there are issues that are holding them inside. So the ideal is to talk about what actually, gives you a problem. It could be mentally, it could be emotionally. So those are the issues that is very important that we need to deal with the fact immediately after they have happened, so that you are able to free your heart, free your emotions and your mind.
Um, I'd actually like to talk about counseling as a career path, right? So
Yes.
for actually people that are actually in university or people that are actually in high school, what subjects do they have to take? And then in high school, and then when you get to varsity, which course do you actually need to take in order to become
All
a
right.
counselor?
Perfect. Look, counseling it's one different profession. However, at the level of a qualification, people can do industrial psychology. Industrial psychology, it's linked to be working with counseling. It helps to deal with the emotions, the mind, and knowledge of a person. However, it bit differ with the counseling. Counseling is directly involved with emotions. It deals with directly emotions. It's focused on emotions. So anyone who will want to do psychology basically will. I mean, nowadays it's not like us when we're at school. They will say, if you want to be a lawyer, do this, do this. It only depends on the person who got the passion of helping the person. It doesn't need any subject. You need to be to be a person of people, have a passion of helping people, have understanding, have a knowledge of how do you work with people. Communication skills become one of the most criteria. Conflict management as well as problem solving.
So, Zazi, would you actually say that a person that is a counselor and a person that actually is a motivational speaker, is it one in the same thing? I mean, with counselors, you do go to a counselor that actually motivates you in whatever situation that you are going through. So, would you actually say that if you're a motivational speaker, it's easy for you to actually get the necessary documents to become a counselor?
Definitely not. The two are different professions. When you are a motivational speaker, you are talking or you are focusing on the development of individual from any level. It could be financial problem, it could be whatever problem that you are facing. But the counseling, it strictly deals with the challenge that are turmoil to you emotionally. So you can't be, though you are able to do them both, but a counselor completely differ from the what you call a motivational speaker. A motivational speaker focus is on a physical development. It includes physical development as well as growth development. But with counseling, the focus is one: emotions, emotions, and feelings.
Okay, so Tatinem, I hear you talking about emotions. That's what counseling mostly and mainly focuses on. So are you telling me that counseling cannot actually look at maybe treating mental illnesses?
Look, there are psychiatrists, there are clinical psychologists who are meant to deal with your mental state. So a counselor cannot reach the level of your mental state. It can reach the level of how do you feel and what are you going to do about this feeling and how are you going to achieve to do the solution that you have taken on. Let's for argument's sake let's for argument's sake agree on the problem of losing your mother at the early stage. Now, the psychology will be able to deal with the state of the mind. What do you think about it? But with counseling, we'll directly deal with the feeling of since you have lost your mother, how do you feel about it, and what are you gonna do about this feeling up to this far? So those are the two different things.
So, since you've been in this profession, right?
Yes.
What I'd like to know is the most affected race, like people that come to you to seek counseling and seek help. Which race is it mostly? Is it mostly black people or is it mostly white people?
You know, because of our political landscape in before, our black people were not familiar with the issue of counseling. They would then think, no, no, I don't want to share my tata aga le whoever. You understand? So I rather remain silent with my problem. But in most cases, we will see white people coming for counseling, white people coming for information sharing and sessions. However, we're now seeing a rate of increment with our black-owned people coming to understand now that they need to talk about their problem. So, I mean, in the terms of scale, we can say over 30% of our black people are starting to join and understanding what is counseling.
Okay, so I think this is like the last question from me, Tati, is that is there a specific age requirement when it comes to counseling?
You know, I usually say sometimes your child can cancel you, not being aware. A 4 year a child can cancel you because
Yeah.
the question the child will ask you will definitely help you to heal. For an example, when you are crying, your child will ask you, Mama, why are you crying? Then ultimately you'll be able to respond. And as you respond, yeah, you had someone who have seen that you are crying. It gives you that pride that at least somebody has noticed that I'm crying. That's counseling itself. So it doesn't have an age. It just needs someone to be there for you, nothing else. And remember, counseling is not about advice. It's about listening to me. I need to take it out. I don't want your advice. You need to make your own decision.
Okay.
Wow, I think the last question for the show before we let you go, I'd like to know is the time frame. I mean, with all the patients that you've had, what would you say is a time frame for a person in order to heal for a person? Is there a time frame to heal, or it takes longer, or I don't know if you
Maybe it
get
depends on the
it
person.
depends with the person, or but is there actually a time frame to heal?
Um, I have a word that say a time itself does not heal, but what you are doing during that time it heals. You cannot stay alone with the pain and say, I'm not healed, I'm waiting for the right time. There's no right time for you to heal. But what you are doing, standing up, talking about the problem, challenging the problem that you have, it will actually heal you because you are taking a step about it. So the answer in short is when you take the step about the pain, that's where you'll get healed. But you cannot stay and remain and say, I'm waiting for 3 months, I'm waiting for 6 months, I'll get healed. There's no time for healing. Time waits for no man.
Wow, thank you so much. Zati, before we let you go, please give you information where people can find you if people want to join your classes and if people seek for help coming to you, where can they find you?
No, thank you so much, man. We are giving counseling classes for everybody in the community, not even a single person who say I'm not involved. Whether you have your matric, you doesn't have a matric, we don't want that. We just need anybody around the community. So the classes take 2 weeks, fully 2 weeks, and then you get an accredited certificate with an health and CETA, which says to you it's a comprehensive counseling. We deal with so many issues of counseling. We deal with relationship counseling. We deal with grief counseling. We deal with as well as HIV and AIDS counseling, partner counseling, or couple counseling. So those are the focus and the modules that we are focusing on in terms of counseling. And then we are found at residential, our office at residential, and just next to TK Garage. And in Vereeniging, we are at Kruger, first floor building. At Fair Price building. My contact could be 083 92 66 445 083 92 66 445, or you can also check me on my Facebook. It says TT Foundation. Therefore, you can get there. That's standing for Tatiteke Foundation. You can go to our Facebook, or you can send whatever email or messages at our Gmail account, ttfs@gmail.com.
All right.
Thank you so much, Tsatsi, for that information that you actually shared with us. Do enjoy the rest of your day
and your weekend
and
as
your
well.
weekend. Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you. So actually, guys, we're actually about goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're actually about to wrap it up right now, guys, because it's 12:26. So we're not going to be doing a feature here to a health corner, but we're actually going to be coming back on Monday. We're going to be doing it on Monday. So now we actually want to be giving you a motivation of the day, which is there is a time for everything, you know. So in you guys, that's what you need to tell yourself. There is a seasonal change. There's a time for laughing, a time for crying, a time for happiness, and a time for sadness, you know. So whatever situation you are actually going through, you shall overcome that situation.
This is our most serious motivation that we've given ever since. This is the most serious one, and it's very important to know whatever happens, everything happens for a reason, and there's a time.
There's a time for everything. Whatever you are going through,
it was the
is
time
actually coming to an end. You know, it's Kansako Senjabulo Sieza. Your season of happiness, your season of financial freedom is coming. So I think that we are actually done, guys. We are now doing what we like doing best. It's Katsoguti Sihambe. So join us again on Monday, 10 to 12. And then Masamba will do again, guys. So do have a blessed weekend. And do not forget to pray, guys. It is always important. So for me and Sky, see you on Monday on 10 to 12. Same clothes, same place, same people.
Please don't take Yolanda sleeping in the same clothes.
You know.
Same place,
same bag. You know, same everything, same pen, same paper, same everything. See you on Monday, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Izinto ziyafeta, izinto azilungi, kodwa go get your hustle on. Oba tuyanoki iminyanga idluli, kodwa go get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, go get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, go get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, get your hustle on. Ngiphuma kude together, impilo nzima kodwa I'm just trying to keep up. Yeah, goodbye, follower, be a leader. At the end of the tunnel, beggar, your future is lit up. A life is korokoro, all we do is bullshit. Bophelo ke tsoko lo shebe ntwe a se movie. Waspana mara dipokoto ha di kholi. Wapatala pa dikoloto ha di movie. But then again, whatever, that's the way it goes. I can only make it if I do make it to a modilo. Unto ha sa hotofati, yes, you gotta let it show. How it's interesting nang tswelo pele, better let it go. When I just tswela pele, don't ever care hore batho ba re. Trust Modimo ke solution mo mathateng. Stand tall against all utlaba moja. Then float cause khale o sokola. Izinto ziyaphetha, izinto azilungi. asilungi kodwa go get your hustle on. Obathu yanothi inyanga ayithuli kodwa go get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, don't get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, don't get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, get your hustle on. Izinto ziyabheda, izinto azilungi kodwa go get your hustle on. Obathu yanothi inyanga ayithuli kodwa go get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, don't get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, don't get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, get your hustle on. The ladder of success, you better climb it up. Gotta secure that check, ngoba impilo irap. Ungalindi opportunity, just create it. Eba netemba, that's the only way to make it. Live your life, Fuksokola is a part of it. Go for the price, doesn't matter just how hard it gets. Ngoba iqiniso mfethu ukuthi ukukalaxis turn nothing into something hlanganisa noma ye. Ukuphumelela kukithi as individuals. Shinji hustle it and turn it into a ritual. Gotta handle your business, keep going for the riches. Fake funny every minute till your time diminish. Keep going, withathe kancane. And for you to be somewhere, you gotta start somewhere. Izinto ziyabheda, izinto azilungi kodwa go get your hustle on. Obathu yanothi inyanga ayithuli kodwa go get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, don't get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, don't get your hustle on. Get your hustle on, get your hustle on. Izinto ziyabheda, izinto azilungi kodwa go get your hustle on. Obathu yanothi inyanga ayithuli kodwa go get your hustle on.